Today I want to share with you some tips for evaluating e-discovery software. I get these types of questions a lot. Is this software good? Is that software bad? Should we purchase this or buy an add-on module for that? A lot of times I don't know because I haven't used all the possible software and all the features and modules that are offered. But in this video I want to share some of the tips on how I go about picking out software for the place where I work. First thing, you might be tempted to look at marketing brochures. Those are a good source of information and they do tell you about what features particular software has. But what they don't tell you is how those features are implemented. For example, we've been evaluating a certain software that's supposed to transfer data from one database to another. And in the marketing brochure, the feature said that you can synchronize, you can transfer, you can do all those things. But when we got a trial version and installed it and actually used it, we realized there were a number of issues, like you couldn't save certain presets or not all the field types was supported. So if we were to just look at the marketing brochure, it would have looked like it did what we need to, but when we actually use it hands-on, it turned out to be it wasn't the case. And the next thing people look at are success stories. Success stories was when one company says, we had this huge problem where we had 2 terabytes of data that we needed processed overnight, right? And then the success story says like, yeah, we were able to just drag and drop all the 2 terabytes into this magic software and it processed everything, you know, in few hours, and yay, it was so good. While those success stories talk about the bigger problem that was solved, they don't talk about all the little individual problems that happened while people were actually running that software. So for example, an analyst could have had a problem where software was crashing or something wasn't working, or they had unsupported file types. Well, that information never makes it out of the analyst department. Maybe it goes to their manager, but past that point, that information, in fact, suppressed. No one likes negative feedback, and that information doesn't float up. And of course, it doesn't make it to a marketing department, and they're not going to put that information on a success story. So success stories do have limited use. Next thing that's super popular these days are videos where you have a bunch of people sitting around the table and talking about how they use this magic analytics engine that figured out what they were actually thinking and had found all the documents they needed. Well, the problem with those videos, people who sit around the table talking about this on video, probably not the people who actually ran the software and got the results they're talking about. Okay, you say you heard enough talking about all the negative stuff and how not to do things. Tell me something that's useful. So let me tell you what I do when I'm picking out software for the company I work for. First thing I do is if I see something interesting at like legal tech or some kind of trade show, I go up to a booth and I talk to people. I see how it works, I watch them on their screen and kind of get an idea, is this what I want or not? If I do like what I see, I ask for a demo of the software that we can install in-house and actually run and use. The next thing to do is find other people who are users of that software. And I'm not talking about like a high-level people, high managers, but the actual people who hands-on and run that software day in and day out. And those are the people you want to talk to. Of course, those are the most difficult people to get a hold of. So you gotta go back to those trade shows, to Relativity Fest, Legal Tech, whatever, and try to identify who those people are and then ask them questions. Okay, for the last piece of information, this might be a little controversial, but I'll tell you anyway. Once you identify the people who are hands-on with that software, start socializing with them. Go to legal tech after parties, hang out at Relativity Fest, go to the bar, buy them some drinks and hang out with them. And promise you, by the 3rd drink, they will tell you all the negative things you actually need to know about that software. And the other thing to do is some people are less inclined to speak about negative things, so keep an eye on facial expressions. Some people will be like, yeah, maybe you don't want that. And then you can decide for yourself if that's the software you want to use and you want to pursue further.